Hello everyone, welcome to Neural with Mohit. And today we are going to work on a very special use case, which is called the multimodal. Right, so we are going to use the multimodal this time. We are going to do the image embedding in this, and we are also going to see how we can implement a multimodal RAG. So we have already seen in our previous videos that how we can use a text RAG, right? But in the industries when you work, you actually the documents doesn't only contain text, right? It can contain text, it can contain images, you can be storing audios, and you want to do searching on that. So today we will learn how we can do a multimodal search in the system, and we will also learn that how we can convert images, videos, or audios to embeddings, right? Because we all know that the models that we use, they actually can understand only and only numbers. So the first thing that you always have to do is whatever data you are having, you have to convert that to a number so that your model can understand it, right? So let us jump into this and let's see that how we can do that particular thing. Okay. So here you can see that I'm having Cohere open over here, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to actually use the embedding model by Cohere, okay? And it gives you different types of embedding models, and you can actually go to the dashboard and you can actually go here and see like what all is there. You can go to the documentation of Cohere to understand, what all different things are there, what are different LLMs it provide, what all different embedding models does it provide. So you can actually go and research about this a bit. You can go to here in the models and you can see different models that you will be able to use over here. So it will be giving you the name of all the models in this, and you can actually see that what all models are there, which can be used for chat, what can be used for what we say images. Like here, if you see embedding 4.0, you remember that we have used it earlier, and this particular model is actually used for text and images both, right? So last time when we used embedding, we actually did it with a free model from Cross Encoder, right? So we did that sentence transformers, and then we brought the like we downloaded the embedding model, and we have used that. But that was mainly for the text thing, right? And for the re-ranking also, we have used a text encoder only. All right. But here, what we will be doing is we will be implementing the whole application with the help of a multimodal embedding, right? So this is the model that we will be using in this. Along with this, if you remember, we use Grok for, like for our LLM needs, and you will be getting the keys over here. Similarly, for Cohere, you can actually, come to APIs key over here, and you can create a new trial key from this place. Right, so here from here you can create the trial key, and then you can copy the trial key for you, and then you can use it. Okay. In this, if we will go, so again, we have to see one more thing. So we'll go to the dashboard in this, right? And we'll actually go to the docs once, and then what we will do is let us see like what all models are there. So I want to just open the models for you, right? And this time in the models also, what we are going to use is we are going to use a multi-modal this time, right? So last time we have used Llama versatile model, and this time what we'll be using is we'll be again using the model from Meta only, but we'll be using a multi-modal this time, which can support both, let's suppose text and images. So our use case will be mainly, revolving around the images. So what we will be doing is we'll be using the multi-modal that will support text and images both, right? And you can actually explore all the supported models from this place, and you can actually go and experiment with different models available as well. Okay, so now let's do one thing. Let's jump into the code, and we'll see that how we can implement our application. Okay, So I have not added a lot of commenting over here. We'll execute it on the way, and we'll understand each and everything that what we are using and why we are using. Okay. And as I said that I will be using the Cohere model. You can also use the clip model. Okay. And the clip is provided by OpenAI, and you can actually use that as well. That will also give you text embeddings, sorry, and images embeddings as well, right? And generally, Clip was an adhesive model. So, like how it was trained is you have the images and then you have the text, and how they trained it is they used to give one correct image with the text and then multiple incorrect images with the text, and it has learned that okay, for this image this is the text, for that image this is the text. So that is how it has learned. Okay, so let us start executing the items one by one, and we'll also understand. So I will be using PIL for our images. As I said that this is going to be an image activity. I'll be using the Cohere model. I'll be using the Grok for our LLMs. Okay. Then where I will be I will be like downloading the images from the internet. Okay, and I will be reading the images using the IO, and I will be converting them to base 64 using this, right? And these two you already know that generally we'll be using this for accessing our local paths, and this we use to load our environment file, right? And here in the environment file, we already discussed that you need two API keys this time. So one you will be needing for Grok, the another you will be needing for Cohere. Okay, so let us execute this. So it is executed, everything is fine. It is saying true, which means that load env works exactly fine. Okay, now what I am doing is we'll be dividing this whole session in two parts. Okay, part one, we will be understanding the image embedding, how I can do an image embedding, how I can do a search on that, and like how I can pass the image embedding to the LLM and ask the LLM to describe that image for me. Okay. So this is the first part that we will be doing. So for this, what we will need is we will need an image. So this is an image path. Okay. And if I'll click on this, it will actually, open an image, right? So this is the image basically that it is pointing to. Okay. So what we will be doing on this is uh, we will be like getting the image. We will be specifying our folder that where I want to store it. So you can see that I am in this particular folder. So I'm saying that, get my current working directory. And from there, I want to store it in the IMG. Okay, so I'll be putting the IMG. And then I'm saying if the directory does not exist, just make the directory. Okay. So clicking on this, it will, if the directory is not existing, it will create that directory. For us, it is already existing, so we have that. There is no problem. Okay. Okay, now let us come here. And on this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to download the image. So here, what I'm just doing is I'm getting the image path. So I will be having this URL. On this URL, I'm saying that, my local store path will be this. Okay. And then I'm saying that if it is not existing, in that case, make an API request, get the response. Once you have the response, then write the image on that particular path. Okay, so what it will be doing is it will be putting the image on this particular path. If it is already existing, don't do anything and just say it is already existing. Okay, so for us, the image is already actually existing, so it will say see already existing. Okay, so nothing we have to do over here. Cool. So let us come to the next part. So this image is now stored in this place, and I have given one.png. So if I'll click on this, you can see this is the exact same image that we have just seen, right? Okay. So I have that image now with me. Now, next thing what I'm going to do is now I have the image, right? And what is the next item that I have to do? I have to now convert this image to a text embedding. Now, to do that thing, what I need is I first need, an embedding model that supports multimodal embedding. And in the beginning, we already discussed that this time we are going to use the Cohere for that. So I'm initializing a Cohere client here. Okay, so this is how you will initialize the Cohere client. The API you will get from the environment. You actually don't need to do this, but since I do not show my environment file, hence I put it like this so that you will know that you know what key name I have to write. Okay. If you put this key name in your env file, then you don't need to give this particular thing at all. You can directly call it without this as well. Okay. So I'll run this and you can see that my key is loaded properly and I have actually printed that on this place here. Okay. Now, this is one of the important thing that we have to understand. Okay, and before I explain these two functions, let me first come here and run you through the whole complete path, how it will be going. Okay, so to give the image to the Cohere, what I need to first do is I first need to convert it to a base 64. Okay, so how do I convert it to base 64? I will be having the path of the image. I will be calling the base 64 function first. So this is my base 64 function. Here I'm checking that you know whether that particular image path is present or not. Okay. And then I'm loading the image. So see, I'm using the pil.image.open. So this will load my image, right? And after I load my image, I will be, you know, setting the format for this, PNG or not, right? Cool. After that, what I will be doing is I will be resizing it. Now, why do I need to resize? Because I will be having different size of images, right? And when I'm giving it to my Cohere model, I want to give it one single size. So what I will be doing over here is I will be resizing this image. Okay. So I am just putting and like here, I also want to, you know, make sure that my max size should not increase, right? Because images can be huge, right? And if you will be giving a very big image to Cohere, it will cost you that much only, right? So what you have to do is you have to actually come here and you have to call the resize image. So I've given the maximum pixel what I want. So I want 1568 into 1568, right? My original width and original height I'm taking from here. And then I'm scaling the image. Okay. So if it is greater than max pixel, in that case, what I'm doing is I'm putting a scale factor over here. And based on the scale factor, what I'm simply doing is I'm simply, you know, like making it a bit small. Okay. And then it will resize and I will return this particular image. So now I know that none of my image will be greater than this. With me till here? Cool. So let us move to the next item. So now I have my PIL image with me, which is now resized. So after resizing the image, what I will be doing is I will be again saving that image, right? And I will be saving it with this image format and with this image buffer. Okay. So this is my PIL.save. I will be having this image buffer, and then from here, I will be collecting the image data. Okay, and this image data is nothing, it is the base 64 format of this particular image, right? So you will see data colon image and then the complete value of like what is the format PNG, let's suppose, and then the what is the base 64 value of this. So all this will go here, and this whole thing we will be returning from this function. Okay. Now we have called this function over here where we are embedding the image with Cohere. So this will return me the base 64 URI for my particular image. Okay. Now once I have that base 64 URI, what I will be doing is I will be creating the content and I'll be telling that type of this will be image and this is the value of this, right? Why I'm putting this? Because my model supports both image and text, correct? So here, when I'm doing the embedding, first thing that I'm doing is I'm converting, like I'm telling it, okay, the type of this is image here, right? And this is my value. So when I will send it to the model will know that, okay, I have to use the image embedding on this, okay? And once I have this value, I will be I will be calling the embed function of my Cohere. I'll be passing the model. We have seen in the beginning that, the model that we are going to use in Cohere, we are going to use this particular model, right? So what we are going to do is we are going to call this model. I'm going to put some input type of this. So I have just put search document, you can put anything, right? And then I'm saying that I want float values in this, okay? And then I will give this complete image URI to the input. Once I give this, it will give me a response, right? So this response I'm using as an embedding, okay? So from here I'm returning a dictionary now. The dictionary contains two parts. Number one is the base64 URI that we have created from this particular function. You remember that, right? And number two is the response that we have got, means the embedding that we have got from the Cohere model. Okay. So let me just run these items. Let us run this, and now let us run this. Okay. So we have all this right over here. Now, here what I'm doing, I am getting this image embedding in this. Okay. And for me, there is only one image for now, correct? So the local image path will be containing the image path of this, which is this one. This image path will be there. Okay. So I will be calling this, I will be getting the image path, I will be sending it to my Cohere model. My Cohere model will return two things. Number one is the embedding, and number two is the base64 URI. And you guys will understand that why do I need a base64 URI? We will come to that as well. Okay. So now I'll just simply run this. So you can see that, yeah, this is the image which is there. I have this thing. And let me just also show you that, how the embedding actually looks like. Okay. So you can see that this particular image is actually converted to this embedding, and these are the numbers that that my model will be able to understand. Okay, and if I'll tell you the length of this, so Cohere model actually generates an embedding of 1536. Okay, cool. With me till here. So what we are going to do now is we are going to create a grok client. Okay, because now I have the image. Now my next motive is what I want to do is I want to, serve this image to an LLM and say that, hey, describe me this particular image. What is in this particular image? And let us see how my LLM will perform on this. Okay. So I have created the grok client. Now I'm going to pass my command to the LLM. So this is my command. Here you can see that I'm sending the first one as type text saying that describe this image in detail. Okay. And I'm sending the second as image URL because here what I'm going to send is I'm going to send this base64 URI that I have. Right. And I will be asking my LLM that, hey, this is the base64 URI. You have to read this particular URI and tell me that what this image is talking about. Okay. Now, one thing to note over here is when I'm creating a grok client, I'm using this particular model, right? If you remember in our last text rack series, if I'll go to the model, let us just quickly see that which model we have used there. Hmm. Here are the prompts. Yeah. So see, we were using Llama 3.3 70 billion versatile. This particular model is a text-only model, right? But what do you need right now? You need a multimodal this time, right? So this is the multimodal for you. This that you see over here, this is a multimodal that we are going to use in this, right? And now what we are going to do is we are going to run this and it will, create a response and put it in this chat completion. So let us run this. It will take some time, and yes, the run is complete. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to, show you that like what this model will be, what was the result from this particular model. So let us run this and see this is the result from this. Let us also open the image so that we can do a side-by-side comparison. Okay, so the image presents Nike's Quarter 3 FY25 income statement, providing a comprehensive overview of the company's financial performance during this period. The infographic is structured to resemble a river with various sections representing different components of Nike income statements. Okay, so see. This infographic is presented like a river, is what it is saying, and it is a quarter three FY25 income statement. Ex- It was able to predict exact same thing. Okay, and then it is saying that okay, let's do the revenue breakdown. Footwear, $7.2, sorry, dollar 7.2 billion. Apparel, dollar 3.2 billion. Let us see. Footwear, oh, that's great. 7.2 billion. Apparel, 3.2 billion. Equipment, 0.5 billion. Converse, 0.4 billion. Say equipment, 0.5 billion. Converse, 0.4 billion. So it is able to, give you the complete breakdown of that image. Like now, you don't have to even do anything. You can actually give it any image and ask, "Hey, describe me this image," and this model will be able to, give you the complete understanding of that particular thing. So what this is doing, this is actually, understanding the complete image and then telling you that what all is there. Like let's suppose if this image would have been of a space thing, right? So it could have told you everything about that. Okay, these are the planets, this is sun, this is that. And this is the power of a multimodal. So multimodal can actually, understand the data that you're providing it, and then it can give you results on that. Okay, great. So congratulations to you guys. You actually came this far and you understood, the like how do we do like image embedding and how can we use it with LLM. Now let us move to the next part of this. Okay, I know this. What should I use it in? So in this series, we have already learned RAG. Now let us see how I can implement RAG on an image. So we have already done that with text. Now let us also learn how we can do it on an image. Okay. So let us come here and yeah. So we have this here. Okay. And now if you'll see, I have a list of different images. I have image from Tesla, Netflix, Nike, Google, Accenture, Tencent, and these all are actually kind of the similar kind of image that you have seen. Okay, so I'm just executing this once so that I will be having the images array. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to implement rack. So if you guys are following me, you guys know that we'll be implementing with ChromaDB because it will give you the persistent storage. It will create the persistent storage for you. And fast we actually use for the HNSW indexing, right? So for that we will be using fast over here. Okay. And NumPy will be converting the embedding into np.array. So for that we are using NumPy, and this is for creating the plots and all. So we'll come to that. You will see that what all we are doing. So let us run this. Now this main part is download all the images, right? And if the images are already downloaded, don't do anything. So we have implemented this. Images were already there. So if you'll see, all these images are here. So it has, simply like execute, like we are going to simply execute this, and what it will do is it will simply check that okay, this image is already existing, so it won't be re-downloading it again. And this is, one way you should also implement so that you don't eat your bandwidth. Okay, cool. So now let us come here. When we will execute this particular line, all the images will be downloaded and all these paths will come in our local image path, right? So see, and what I am keeping over here is name and the path. Okay, so these two items will come over here. I'm having these four arrays, and these four arrays we will use when we will, be creating our ChromaDB. So for that, we will be using it. So let us see what these are doing. So what I'm doing is I will be having the local image paths. I will be going through one by one. I will be converting that image to an embedding. I will be having that embedding with me. That embedding I'll store in the embeddings array. Then I will be having the base64 as well that I'll store in the document for me, right? If you remember, last time the content we were storing in the document and the text embedding we were storing in the embeddings array, right? So similar implementation. You will be storing the embeddings in the embedding array, and you will be storing the base64 URI that you will actually give to your LLM in the documents. Okay. Then the IDs. For me, all the images will be having a unique name, so the IDs will go in that, and then the metadata. For this particular activity, the metadata is image, right? But when you will run, let's suppose when you will load a PDF and you try to read from the PDF, what you have to do over there is you have to check if the data is image, you will store it as type image. If the data is text, you will store it as type text when you are working with a PDF. Here we are working with a group of images. So for me, all the types are blindly images, right? Okay, so as I said, all are already existing, and what this will be doing is this will be creating, like store over here, and it will be storing everything in this. Okay. And then when I'll execute this particular line, so what this will do is this will, create the persistent client. Before I'll create, let me also do one thing. Let me delete these so that I do not have it. It can throw an error right now because these were read only, right? And so I may have to run everything one more time. Let us see. Yeah, it did what exactly I was expecting it to do. So what I'll just simply do is I will simply restart it. We will quickly run each and every item, right? I'll clear all the outputs also. So till there we have already understood. So what we will be doing is we will be simply, going through like very fast. Okay. Here, let's suppose these functions we need, this we need. Okay. Uh, this is our previous implementation. Right, this all we have. Okay, till here we have already completed. Okay, now this is what we were implementing next. Download image and create the embedding. So now it will create the embeddings for you. Okay, and you can see here I do not have like the stores and all created for now. So what I will be doing is I will be creating the store now. Okay, so for me now the store is created. You can see that these are the IDs that will be stored in my Chroma DB. I've printed the IDs here, and these IDs are the one that I'm passing in my Chroma DB as the ID. For my fast, what I'm doing is I'm passing the indexes as the ID. Okay. Okay. So till here we are done. Now let us call this. Now what this will be doing is this is just loading the DBs for me. So it will be loading the indexes for me. It will be loading the client collection, the Chroma collection for me. Sorry, Chroma client for me, right? The client that I'm using, and it will be giving me the collection as well. Okay. I already have this, I like had this over here, so need not require. But yeah, I just did it like this so that you don't have to do it again and again. Okay. Now, so we have seen this image embedding thing already. We have created the store already. Now the store is present here. You can see that. Okay. What is the next thing that we do in RAG? Now we will ask query to RAG, right? So to ask query, what do we need? First thing that we need is we need a function that can convert our text to embedding, right? Now, as you remember, I told you in our RAG session that whichever embedding model you are using to convert, like you are using to store your data in the DB, means you're using to, convert it to embedding, then store in the DB. Always use the same model to do the query as well. Okay. So here it's a multimodal. We will be using the same model over here, and we'll be sending the text this time to this, right? And we will be getting the embedding from this. Okay. So let us run this and let us just compare it with the image embedding once so that you guys will understand that function as well. So if you remember in the image embedding, where is that function? Yeah, here. Okay, so if you remember in the image embedding, the input that we were giving, we are also mentioning that the type of the content is image in this, right? Correct? And then that is what we were sending in the inputs, right? in the text embedding, when I'm calling this, I'm just saying texts and then giving this, right? Why this? So text, most of the use cases for embedding has been text, right? So they've given an upfront for text. But when it comes to multimodal, your data could be video, it could be audio, it could be image, right? It could be anything actually, to be honest. So that is why what you do is in the content you provide the type and then you send it, right? Okay, so we have already executed this function. So whenever we will call this now, it will give us the text embedding. Okay, now this is another function. So here what we are doing, we will call this function now. We haven't called it yet. Okay, but what this function is doing is it is getting all the, like it is taking the query embedding that we will be creating now, and it will do a fast search. Now, fast, as you remember, fast index was an HNSW indexing, right? And it will be doing a search on that. It will get the top K. I have assigned top K as one only, right? You can assign it multiple, not an issue. But in this case, since each image is unique, so if you will assign multiple, it will not work that well, right? So here for this particular use case, I've assigned it one. Okay. Okay, cool. So let us come over here. We'll do the search. It will give me the distance along with the indices. You already remember these from our previous videos. I will also put a link in the description. Okay. So then from here, what I will be doing is I will be getting the FIS IDs from this, right? And from these, I will be extracting the Chroma DB IDs. Now, if you remember, in FIS, I've put 1, 2, 3, 4 indexing, right? But in Chroma DB, I've given the name of the IDs that I've shown you like this. See, this is what I have like stored in the Chroma DB, right? So what I'm doing is at the same index, I will be getting the Chroma DB ID, and I'll be saying from my collection, get these IDs as a result. Okay. Now I am using this because this search is being performed on the HNSW, right? So it will be very fast for you. And then, so it is actually optimized, right? And then we'll be using this to get the result. So this is again O of 1 for you. It will directly go to that ID, get the result, and give it back to you. Okay. Now here, once I have the result, which is in this. So once I have the result, I will be checking whether the type is text or image, right? Now this is a image only assignment, but I have written it in this way so that if you implement the text also along with this, means if you encode text as well and then you put the text embedding also in your DB and you do the search. So from the metadata only you will be knowing, right? Because when we were storing in the DB, you remember that we also stored the metadata along with that, right? So here, whenever you will be storing text, you will be putting the text as metadata. Cool. So for us, always this else will be executed. And what we are going over there is document. To remember, we put our base64 URI, right? So here we are splitting it with comma, and we are getting the first item of that. So if you will remember, like how our base64 encoding usually works is, I'll just quickly show you that, so that you will understand that URI part. Where is that 64 encoding? Yeah, here. Okay, so if you will remember, see, this is how I am storing, right? So comma separated. So what I'm saying is after comma, take the this part. So this will be the base 64 value of the image. So this is what I'm doing over here. Let us go back to our code. Yeah. So I'm taking the first part and then I'm giving it as image bytes, and I'm asking my image to open this, right? And then show it over there. Okay. So using the matplotlib.image show, I'm actually showing that particular thing, right? And I'm said axis off because I do not need that X and Y axis, right? And then I'm saying that plot.show. Okay. So let us execute this. So here, this is now the search query that I'm going to do. I'm asking what is the revenue of Tesla? Okay. Now, what it will do, it will go in the search. And since we have stored images, right? So, what it will do is it will extract the image which has the Tesla, what do you say, description in it, right? The revenue description in it. Okay. So let us execute this. Now I have the embedding. So if you'll see, just one sec. So if you'll see, I have this query embedding, right? And if you will see, the shape of this is 1536. And if you remember, the shape of the image embedding was also 1536, right? So that is why always say that use the same model. It will be having the exact same structure that you will be using in this. Okay. So I have this query embedding now. Now, what is my next thing? I will call this function with my query embedding and it will give me a result, right? So let us execute. And you can see, like we have, from a ChromaDB, we have the image, the Tesla image, which we needed, and it has all the details in it. And it is about the quarter one of FY25, and they have given the income statement of that, right? Now, the image is with us, but the image is not, self-explanatory. So what do you need? You need an LLM to explain you this image. And what have I asked? I have asked that what is the revenue of Tesla? Now, looking at this image, I do not know what is the revenue of Tesla, correct? It should have given me the revenue. So, what do we need now? We need now a multi-model, a large language multi-model, which will be able to read this image, which will be able to read my query, and it will be able to, react accordingly. Okay. So my query was, what is the revenue of Tesla? This is the image that I have received. So here now what I am doing is I am, going to call my client and this will be my content. First part will be text and it will be the query from me, right? Second part is going to be the image URL. Okay. And this will be my base64 URL that I'm going to send it to. Okay. And as we discussed, we'll be using a multimodal this time. We have already used it earlier and we have seen that it was able to, decode the complete thing for you. So let us execute it now. We have this. Now let us see what the result will be. The infographic, okay, sorry, what did I do wrong here? Okay, sorry, I think, uh, did I not run any of this? So I've run this, correct? I've executed this. Image embeddings, zero. Okay, I think that I have not stored the image embeddings anywhere. Okay, let me store it 1 second. So I have this result, right? And in this result, I will be having this. This was my search result, which was exactly correct. And this was my document, right? So if I'll store this in results, right? So now I will be having this results as this. And from this results, what I need is I need the embedding, right? So let me also just print this result one so that I will know. Okay. And I need this thing, right? Which is the document. So I'll say results and inside this uh, documents, right? And I would like the zeroth item of that. I don't need this now. Okay. Yeah. So this is what I need. Let me just execute it again and let me just run it. So see, the revenue of Tesla is 19.3 billion. And if we will come to this image, right? So, if you will see this, it was clearly telling you here that, the revenue is 19.3 billion for this, right? You can ask more questions if you want. Like, let's suppose I'll copy this. Let us see that how, like what all can we do with this model, right? So this thing we already have. So here I will be asking another question now. Now my question will be something like, uh, let us think what we should ask. So what is energy generation and auto? What is the? total of energy generation and auto. Let us see what we get. Right. This time I'll just put it here itself so that we'll be able to get everything here. Okay, to find the total energy generation auto, we need to add the values of these two categories. Okay, great. So energy generation 2.7 billion. Let us see how much it is. 2.7 billion. Great. And auto 14.8 billion. Oh, 14.0 billion. Sorry. Yeah. And if you'll add this, it will be this, and the total. That's great. So you can see that how great these models work. And you are now able to query on top of the image using these models, right? So yeah, so this has been the thing that we can do with this. Now, what I want you to do is, I actually want you to implement this. So you have already seen how we can do a PDF and can get the items from the PDF and all. So what I would want you to do is search some PDF which will contain an images and text and everything from the internet. Now load that PDF and create a vector store with both text and images. And now you should implement RAC and get the records, which will be a mix of text and images for you, right? And you should give that to your model and should ask questions on top of it, right? So let us see if you can implement that. And if you have any queries on that, and if you face any issues in that, drop a comment and I will be able to help you on that. Great. Cool. So, if you have liked this video, what I would say is please like this, share it with your friends so that they will be able to learn the RAG end to end. I've very rarely seen, the series where uh, we can take, we actually, complete the multimodals as well. And in industries, we generally use that, right? So the best thing is that you should learn that. Okay. So like this video, share it with your friends and subscribe. Thank you.